Hi, this is Ed. Welcome to the Outer Light channel again. Well, back again from the rabbit hole. um, Before I go on, I'd like to thank my patrons for your continued support of my channel and just really helping it to keep on going. Well, as reported here by Big League Politics, and as if the community can't have enough enemies already now, now it seems like it's probably going into the weapons manufacturers. What is what it is. If something's real, you got to report on it, right? You got to question authority and wonder why it is. So the brother of Seth Rich is reported by Big Leagues Politics here, Cassandra Fairbanks, which was retweeted by Wikileaks. Not this article, but Cassandra Fairbanks' audio recordings there of Rod Wheeler. You start to get a picture of what's happening. Now, the family lost a loved one. Okay, so it's complicated reporting on this, but if you have to look at all of the breadcrumbs and see what kind of coordinates a picture. You have to follow these things. So does this mean something? Well, draw your own conclusions on this. But the brother of Seth Rich works for a government contractor that provides cybersecurity. Okay, this isn't any government contractor. Aaron Rich, and this will make sense later because this refers to the Rod Wheeler audio, okay, which I'm going to play in a second, and of course will be linked in the comments section. Aaron Rich, who reportedly had been blocking his family's private investigator from looking into whether or not his brother Seth was a WikiLeaks source, works for an influential defense contractor that provides cyber security. So who says that Aaron Rich was blocking the real investigation into the WikiLeaks connection? Well, it's Rod Wheeler in this audio. Okay. So that is what it is. Rod Wheeler, if you don't know, was the private investigator for the Seth Rich family. So it's a significant arrangement there. So he works for an influential defense contractor that provides cybersecurity. This is Aaron Rich. According to a source close to the Rich family, Aaron works for Northrop Grumman. They used to make airplanes back in the days. You see the famous logos and things like that. So they've been around literally for a very long time. Very established. Think of Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, of these kinds of companies. This is a really big weapons manufacturer. They've been around forever. Which was named the 5th largest defense contractor in the world in 2015. Sometimes I think, to myself, I could have been like a taxi driver or something. And now I'm like, all of this, reporting on weapons manufacturers, leaks, conspiracies, I could have been a dentist, like that famous saying, like Romancing the Stone. I should have been a dentist. I'd be, it was like, who was that? I've forgotten the actor's name. Michael Douglas. Yeah, that was it. Romancing the Stone. Remember the 80s? Remember the 80s when everything used to be semi-normal? You could watch something like Romancing the Stone, or you could go out and get an ice block. People used to leave their keys in the car back here in New Zealand. As that ad into Alan P stated. We used to leave the keys. The doors were open, and there was no one involved. There were still these conspiracies, but they weren't on such a massive scale as they are now. I don't mean to take a tangent. Sorry about that. According to a source close to the Rich family, Aaron works for Northrop Grumman, which was named as the 5th largest defense contractor in the world in 2015. The source did not provide what his specific role is at the company. It's not just hacking and defending, there's a lot more to it, a cyber software engineer at Northrop Grumman says in a video on the company's website. So, they're the 5th largest defense contractor in the world, and that's who the brother of this within Seth Rich allegedly works for. And you have Rod Wheeler stating that this individual is blocking the roads to investigation. So let's have a listen to that. I just put on my trusty headset. Let's have a few listen to a few little moments.
And Mary Rich, they would share with me their thoughts on, relationships that Seth had with his girlfriend, some other friends of his, but they thought I should talk to his brother Aaron because him and Aaron was pretty close, pretty tight. So I said, okay. So I set up a call with Aaron and Molly. Molly is Aaron's wife. Molly is also an attorney. So we're talking, and they made it clear that in this investigation, no matter what happens, do not talk to anyone about any emails. And now, you keep in mind, I wasn't really aware of all this business about the emails app. And I asked the question, why? I said, why do you not want to talk about the email? And they said, well, because we know his death is not the result of anything dealing with his job. So I said, okay, fair enough, but how do you know his death is...
It's not me in the background, by the way. That's the actual in the audio, so I apologize for that.
...related to his job. And Aaron, at that point, immediately interrupted and said, because we're telling you it's not. I've done all the investigation. This is what he said. And I have all of this in the report. Just as a side note, guys, I keep what I call a running resume. So every discussion, I make notes. And I have all of that. And at some point, you'll probably get all of this. But anyway, he made it clear his death was definitely not the result of emails. Well, I'm not sure how you know that, but okay, I won't even think about the emails. So I started setting up interviews with people who were friends of his. The bar where he was last seen the night he died. I went to that bar, and what was interesting, the first person I talked to after I talked to Joe and Aaron, my first interview was with a guy named Joe Capone, who's the manager of the bar that Seth was at the night he died, before he died. So I wanted to talk to Joe to see if he could tell me a little bit about Seth. Well, when I get there, he says, "Oh, I was expecting you."
Now, if there's just some background here that you have to be aware of on this individual who owns the bar, they were actually in the White House logs around the same time. So they had multiple visits to the White House for unexplained reasons. Okay, to certain rooms in the White House, this is under Obama, that you only really get access to, if for serious reasons. So why were they at the White House? This is the bar owner, okay? The same name recorded in the logs. It's possible that it's a different bar owner from Washington, or a different person with the exact same name that's in Washington, D.C. or visiting the White House. That's possible. But, just a little bit to throw it in the ether there. So he's meeting with the person, or the owner of the bar. So let's have a listen.
Now, I didn't call him to tell him I was coming. That's not how I operate as an investigator. I usually just pop in. He says, "Oh, I was expecting you." I said, "You were expecting me?" He said, "Yeah. Aaron just called me." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, he told me that you were coming." Now, he doesn't want us to talk anything about computers or email.
So just think about that for a moment. Aaron Rich, who works for a defense contractor, is now, ringing the person of the bar owner, so to prep them for an interview with the private detective investigating it. Do you see there's something wrong here? There's something wrong with this. Okay, and telling them what to say. What can be discussed and what cannot be discussed. That's the brother of Seth Rich. Let's keep on going.
I said, "He said that?" He said, "Yeah, he just told me I can talk to you, but don't say anything about emails." I said, "Well, unless it's related to his death." He said, "No, I can't say anything about emails."
So there you have Aaron Rich telling the bar owner that they can't say, that there's not to be any discussion about emails or any connection, really giving him a framework of what the bar owner can tell the private investigator that's been hired by the family, or, is working for the family there. So do you see that there's something wrong with this scenario? Let's keep on going.
I find that awfully strange, but okay. So we talk about relationships, and he's a real nice guy. This guy Joe was, and then I stayed there for about 45 minutes, and I leave. The only other person I talked to was Kelsey. Well, the one other person was Kelsey, who was the girlfriend of Seth. And the day I met with, the first time I talked to her on the telephone, that's the first thing she told me. I knew you was going to be calling because Aaron told me that you're going to be calling.
So there you have Aaron now calling the girlfriend, saying that, the private detective's going to be talking to them. Interesting.
But I can't talk to you about emails.
But I cannot talk to you about emails. The bar owner, I cannot talk to you about emails. Her, I cannot talk to you about emails. The family, do not investigate emails. And then we have, of course, I don't want to go into any more of this. I'll put a link in the comments section so you can listen to the full interview. But then if we jumped over to Seymour Hersh on the same channel here, channel here, you can see that Seymour Hersh states that Seth Rich was in contact with Wikileaks. Seth Rich was in contact with Wikileaks and set up a Dropbox. Wikileaks had the password. That's according to an FBI document, or his source in the FBI has a high-level source there. Seymour Hersh won the Pulitzer Prize for journalism. He's a long-established journalist, stating Wikileaks was absolutely in contact with Seth Rich. There was a communication there, an exchange. Seth Rich supplied sample emails, things of that nature. And then you have the brother now stating, and this is according to Rod Wheeler, audio coming out, the brother coming out and stating, do not look at the emails to Rod Wheeler. Do not look into the emails. Do not investigate the emails. Then ringing up everyone that Rod Wheeler is going to interview and them reiterating the same thing. We're not allowed to talk about the emails from the girlfriend, the bar owner. We're not allowed to talk about the emails. Do you see what's wrong here? Aaron Rich, who allegedly works for a massive weapons manufacturer, very dangerous individuals, okay? Northrop Grumman works for this weapons manufacturer. Just something's wrong with this, something is just wrong with this complete thing. I don't know what it is. It's very hard to say what the full story will be. When that'll come out, I don't know. But WikiLeaks here, of course, has reiterated all of these videos that I've told you about. Audio tapes of Seymour Hersh discussing WikiLeaks DNC leaks and Seth Rich. Just a few hours ago, again, WikiLeaks tape recording of private investigator Rod Wheeler discussing Seth Rich investigation. Again, all of this in reply to what seems, I think it's fair to say, I wouldn't want to put words in WikiLeaks' mouth. I don't have any contact with WikiLeaks. I don't know WikiLeaks. All I'm saying is that there is a massive array of information that the mainstream media is now targeting on debunking Seth Rich. Why are they trying so hard right now in the last 24 hours? And why did WikiLeaks reply like this with some, bomb-dropping information? Also reported by, of course, Big League Politics, and shout out to Cassandra Fairbanks, their excellent work. Why is WikiLeaks doing this in reply to that? Arwen brothers last week. Imran Arwen, massive scandal, has all the hallmarks, all the makings of a mass espionage campaign. Money laundering, espionage is the highest levels of politics. Just think about it. Think about what's happening. There's something insane happening right now. And now you have the new push towards war with North Korea. Anything. At any cost. Don't get me wrong. North Korea is insane. They're dangerous. Okay, they are. But this is a strange game. Everyone, today this is like the most dangerous game, right? This is what it is. So the audio also, just to reiterate the prior video, Seymour Hersh states Seth Rich was WikiLeaks' source in that video. He was the WikiLeaks source. Seymour Hersh stated that on an audio call that was recorded. It's in the last video there. All links will be placed in the comment section. Go out and watch all the audio. Put it together. Come to your own conclusions. These are response mechanisms to something massive in the ether. Something massive is approaching, I think. And one, maybe something, people being investigated, just cited a circa yesterday in regards to one of the top FBI lawyers being investigated. You know, there's a special counsel being appointed to investigate Hillary Clinton, all of this. There's a special counsel being investigated. It's been appointed, it's been sent to Jeff Sessions, signed by like 20 senators. I can't remember the exact name, still like something like that. You have same special counsel on the other end of the spectrum chasing Donald Trump at any costs. So everything is moving, okay? Everything's moving, and it's going at a rapid pace now. In the meantime, go out and do your own research. Of course, decide for yourselves what to believe. Come to your own conclusions. Read through it. Maybe you completely disagree with me, and that's fine with me. Shout out to Cassandra Fairbanks. WikiLeaks, of course, links to this article will be placed from Big League Politics again in the comments section, again by Cassandra Fairbanks there, as well as the audio recordings, which I'll actually I'll post the link from WikiLeaks. That way you can share that on Twitter easily. The WikiLeaks post itself, you can get to the audio recordings by just clicking on the YouTube channel there. In the meantime, this is Ed from the Light. Stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all later.